أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
الحمد لله الذي أنزل الفرقان خلق الإنسان وعلمه البيان. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له خالق الإنس والجان. وأشهد أن سيدنا ومولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله المبعوث بالهدى والقرآن صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأزواجه وأصحابه ما دارت الشمس. أما بعد، قال الله تبارك وتعالى في القرآن المجيد والفرقان الحميد: أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنما المؤمنون إخوة فأصلحوا بين أخويكم واتقوا الله لعلكم ترحمون. صدق الله العظيم. Respected brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Inshallah, brothers and sisters, today in our khutbah, we will try to evaluate that how we Muslims are doing. What are our responsibilities and how the world is depending on our actions to judge about us, the Muslims. Brothers, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala explained us the relationship of a Muslim in this verse of Surah Al-Hujurat, in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةٌ, that surely believers are brothers. Now the question is, how many of us actually trying to learn our deen properly, the way we are trying to learn the matters of dunya? And the answer, that very few of us. We are spending most of our life to send our children into school so they can learn how they can survive in this dunya. When our child becomes 4 years old, we start sending him into school. And so most of them, they graduate when they are the age of 22, 25, sometimes if they are becoming doctor, pharmacist, 30, 35. And what they are learning? How to survive in this dunya. A life which might be 60 years old, which might be 70, 100, 50, 10. Recently, we have seen in Brooklyn one 7-year-old girl, Muslim girl. She was struck by a truck while crossing the street and died. And so on, during the COVID-19, we have seen that a lot of our Muslim brothers and sisters left the world. And we are still thinking that we might live here forever. We are not thinking for the future life, the life which is never gonna end. The life we need to be successful if we want to be successful. But what's happening, I'm gonna take few names like a car. Now if I tell you that this cab is a car, all of you will say, no, this is not a car. Why? Because you all know the definition of a car. But if I say Islam, explain your religion to a non-Muslim, we all will come up with difference of opinions. And we will confuse that brother. Why? Because we are not learning our religion properly. Our children, whenever I teach them, I try to explain them about our religion, and they ask a question. If our religion is so good, if Muslims are so good, why we are living in America? Why don't we go back and live where we are from? Why so much fights and destruction is happening in the Muslim world? And so we don't have any answer for them. Why? Because we are not educated Muslims. We don't know what our religion is. We are always ready to fight. And so I learned a lot of examples by being around new Muslims. And I met one brother who accepted Islam in Florida about 5 years ago, and he came there on Hajj. And at the time of Maghrib, we were entering into the masjid, and he saw that some of our brothers were fighting with each other. And he asked me, how can a Muslim do that? And so carry on, we were doing the shopping, and we went into one store. I was there. I told the shop owner that please sell him the right thing. Do not sell him the fake stone, please. This brother will go back and he will check the store. If you want to sell him expensive stuff, it's no problem. He makes good money, he can afford it. And the shop owner said, no problem, I will sell him the real stuff. We came back, next Ramadan I saw him and he told me, brother, that stone was not real. How can a Muslim do that? Why? They are that close to the resting place of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then he opened my eyes by saying another word, that everything I purchased, from perfume to anything, nothing was real. And this is a reality. Nowadays, if you get into an accident and you need a lawyer, the advice you will get from our own community, that get a lawyer who is a Jew. They have more experience. Why this is happening among ourselves? Because we are spending 20, 25, 30 years to educate ourselves to survive in this short life. And we are forgetting that our religion is most important thing for us to learn. In one of the hadiths, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "La yu'minu ahadukum hatta yuhibba li akhihi ma yuhibbu li nafsihi." That none of you is a believer until you like and love the same thing for other brothers what you like for yourself. Are not we guilty about this hadith? And he explained me more during the Hajj time that, brother, you see that all the nations, they look divided in the camp of Mina. Arabs are sitting on the right side, then the Pakistanis, then the Bangladeshis, then the African brothers, and so on. Everybody look divided here. And that is a true thing. You guys can experience it. It shouldn't happen this way. If we are Muslims, we are brothers. And this relationship is given to us by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so that should be more considerate. Like when I grow up, my parents told me that these are your two brothers, and I love them. Whenever they need something, I call them. If they call me for help, I help them. But what about those brothers and sisters who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made my brothers and sisters? The purpose of coming into the Jummah prayer is so we can know one another. So we can shake each other's hands. We can set up our political future. We can decide who we're going to vote. We can find out if some Muslim brother or sister or a family need our help. But are we doing that? No. In 1970, General Stanley Mott, you can Google and you will find out about this story. He was a British general, and he was in the area, in a Muslim area. They captured the area. And so he saw one shepherd, and he said, "Let me go and talk to this shepherd and find out what is the nature of the people living in this neighborhood." So he go with his translator and he stopped that shepherd, and he told the shepherd that, "I will give you one sterling pound and you slaughter your dog for me." Dog is a best friend of a shepherd. Any of you know back home that the most of the work is done by the dog of the shepherd. And so the shepherd think about it and he said, "Okay, I will do it. I can get another dog." Then he told the shepherd, "I will give you another sterling pound if you skin that dog." And he skinned the dog. And then the general said, "I will give you another pound if you make the pieces of that dog." He did it. And now history is recording, because history records everything. And so after that, the general started walking, And the shepherd told him that, hey, General, stay. I want to talk to you. So he told the translator, tell him if he can give me another form, I will show him that how can I eat the dog. Go around the Muslim world, my brothers and sisters, and you will see many examples that Muslims are living under poverty. We are Muslims by name, we are Muslims, but without Islam in us. The examples we find in our deen, we don't have time to learn them. We don't have time to know who we are actually. A doctor spent like 30 years in school to find out that what doctor is. How he can use the skills of a doctor. A pharmacist spends his time to learn about medicine. And we don't try to know who we are, who a Muslim is, what kind of character we need to go and stand in front of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam on the day of judgment. No, we don't have time for that. I was in one gathering, and it's a harsh thing, but I am a different kind of speaker. I try to tell people what's going on in the world. So I asked, there were about 15 young brothers sitting in the room, and I asked all of them, how many of you have not committed zina yet? And all of them were guilty. So our eyes are closed. We are trying to be a pigeon who closes his eyes when he sees a cat. And he thinks that it will save his life. One son came to me and he said, my father is acting crazy. And I told him, no, my brother, you are acting crazy. Because your father have done everything he can to make you successful. And so on, we have seen during the COVID-19 pandemic that a lot of children did not attend the funeral of their parents because they were scared to die. So what is the success? Where is the success? This life is going to end. Let me continue more into the history. September 6, 1798, one of our brother, Muhammad Karim, was assassinated by Napoleon. September 6, 1798, about 222 years ago. And history recorded that event as well. You can Google it and find out. What happened to our brother? He was a freedom fighter. He was trying to protect his country. When Napoleon captured him, Napoleon asked him that if you can give me 10,000 gold coins, I will free you, because you didn't commit a crime. You was just trying to protect your country. You was trying to defend your country, and it's not a crime. And Napoleon and our brother Muhammad Karim, he thought that it shouldn't be difficult for him, because people respected him, and he was trying to defend the country. So he agreed, and he went to collect 10,000 gold coins, and he failed. As usual, because most of us know our religion, but we don't know what is the relationship among ourselves. And we don't know that how to use the power of unity. And so He came back, Napoleon, and he said, I was not able to collect 10,000 gold coins. So Napoleon said, I will not kill you because you fight with my soldiers, but I will assassinate you because you stand for the wrong people who don't know the importance of a freedom fighter, somebody who was giving his life to protect his homeland. The history is recorded, we cannot change it, but we can get the message from it and fix our future, fix our present. We still have time, alhamdulillah, we are all alive. We are sitting in the best place in the earth, that is masjid, the house of Allah. But how many of us are ready to actually go and study our religion, learn our religion? If we say that an average life is 60 years, 10 years you spend for the childhood, in 50 years of our life we get about 2,600 Fridays. Every year we get about 52 Fridays in our life. Just think about it, that if you have attended 2,600 Fridays and learned just one verse in every Friday, one hadith every Friday, we should die by memorizing 2,600 verses of Quran, 2,600 hadiths, maybe more. But how many of us actually remember what we have learned in the previous Friday? In old days, when people were serious about learning their religion, they should come with a notebook and pen inside the masjid so that they can take notes. They used to go home and discuss what they have learned in the Friday sermon, which verse Imam has recited, and so on. Inside the home, everybody used to sit together and eat together. Those brothers who have seen our culture, they know that the mother used to cook and all family used to sit together and eat together. That is our culture, that is Islam, the beauty. But again, we think we are making our children successful, so we left that beautiful culture. And that's why the children are too far from their parents now. We all have to come back to our religion. We all have to come back to our culture. We have to start fixing the mistakes we already have made. I will come back to the history and share one of the hadiths of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in which Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "La tadkhulul jannata hatta tu'minu." You will not enter into paradise until you become a believer. وَلَا تُؤْمِنُوا حَتَّى تَحَابُوا, and gave us the condition that you cannot be a believer until you start loving one another. So let me ask a question with all of you. Think in your mind, what is love for you? What is the meaning of love? You might have difference of opinion about love. The youth might think about whoever they love. But the purest example of love I can give is the love of a mother for her children. So when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is talking about love, we should actually love one another. Similar, a mother loves her children. So on the day of judgment, when we see Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we can say, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we love one another for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because you told us that that is a condition of faith. But are we loving one another? No. We don't even try to know each other. We come in the masjid. How many friends you have made by coming in the masjid? We look towards each other like strangers. We look towards each other and try to start judging other person's faith by seeing that how many inch is the beard of this brother, or if his ankles are covered or not covered. How does he say Iqamah? Because we are confusing our children with everything by not giving them accurate knowledge about our deen. Like for example, whenever our children, most of the children who study in Pakistani and Bangladeshi masjids, they give Iqamah with Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah, Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah, Hayya ala salat, Hayya ala salah, Hayya ala falah, Hayya ala falah, Qad qamat as-salat, Qad qamat as-salah, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, la ilaha illallah. And when we go into the Arab masjid, we listen the Iqamah a little different. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah, Hayya ala salat, Hayya ala falah, Qad qamat as-salat, Qad qamat as-salah, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, la ilaha illallah. But we are not teaching our children that both ways are right. The difference is just only that one form of scholars, they think that if they give Iqamah this way, it has more reward of it. And the other scholar says that the reward is more if you say Iqamah in these words. There's no problem. But we are not teaching our children properly. So that's why they are more confused. And so they are not finding a place where they can go and learn our religion and our culture together. Let me come back in the history, a beautiful history. The Battle of Yarmouk. Abu Jahm bin Huzaifa radiallahu anhu narrated that his cousin was in the front line, so he took some water with him and go to find his cousin. He said, I found my cousin seriously injured and I advanced myself to give him some water. While I was presenting him water, we heard a voice, water. Some other injured Sahabi was looking for water. So my cousin sacrificed the water and he said, no, go to that person first. He said, I went to him and I saw that he is Hisham bin Abil As radiallahu anhu. I presented water to him and we heard another voice of water by an injured Sahabi. So he said, Hisham bin Abil As radiallahu anhu also sacrificed, and he said, no, you take the water to the other person. I went to that brother and I saw that he passed away. I came back and Hisham bin Abil As radiallahu anhu, he was no longer in the world. I came back to my cousin and I saw that he is also shaheed. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. And so we learn how to love one another in this example. The problem is we are not united. all the problems of the community should be addressed during the khutbah. So everyone should know what is going on with the community. And if somebody needed help, that help should not be a burden on one person. One biggest mistake we do is that we just look few rich people and we try to put all the burden on their head. That's not right. That's not the insaf. That's not the justice. If we want to do something for the community, we all have to do it. We all have to unite ourselves, and we all have to find the solution for the problem addressed during the khutbah. The khutbah is a political gathering for Muslims. That's why it's more important that how we're going to find the future leader of our community. How we're going to protect the future of our children. How we're going to protect future of our sisters. Another problem rising among the Muslims is that we start bothering those with our own rules. Those brothers and sisters who come in the masjid. Like, why you are wearing this thing? Why you are not praying this way? Why you are making this mistake? And we bother them. We don't care for those who are not coming in the masjid. Because a lot of children, many children have complained about someone in the masjid bothers them, who judges them. Think about it. If somebody is in my home, I am their host, and someone will come and bother my guest, I will definitely fix it because I am the host. So whoever is inside the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a guest of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And one of the examples we learned from the hadith of Sahih al-Bukhari, that one time Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was inside the masjid, and one Arabi came and he started urinating inside the masjid. What sunnah Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam gave us? The companions, they run to stop him, and Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, "La tuzrimu." He said, don't interrupt him. And then told people to bring a bucket of water and clean it himself. That is the sunnah we receive. Because a lot of times we misunderstand our religion and we think the sunnah is only praying 2 sunnah of Fajr and 4 sunnah of Zohar, then 2 more sunnah after the Fajr, and so on. And we forget the most important sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is that non-believers used to call him Sadiq and Amin, truthful and trustworthy. What do you think? The non-believers call us that Sadiq and Amin anymore? So, brothers and sisters, I conclude my khutbah by making the dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to be a better Muslim. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to educate ourselves. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us to protect future of our children. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to protect our future. All the brothers and sisters who passed away during COVID-19, Ya Allah, please forgive them. Bless them all with Jannatul Firdaus. All the parents, family members, community members, our elders, whoever passed away, Ya Rabbal Kareem, we ask you to please forgive them. Ya Rabbal Kareem, please bless them with Jannatul Firdaus. All of us who are alive, Ya Allah, give us long and healthy life. Give us the success of dunya and akhirah. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين من كل ذنب فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا ومولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله وخاتم النبيين. أما بعد قال الله تبارك وتعالى أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. عن عبد الرحمن بن عوف رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أبو بكر في الجنة وعمر في الجنة وعثمان في الجنة وعلي في الجنة وطلحة في الجنة والزبير في الجنة وعبد الرحمن بن عوف في الجنة وسعد في الجنة وسعيد في الجنة وأبو عبيدة بن جراح في الجنة رضوان الله تعالى عليهم أجمعين. وقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم فاطمة سيدة النساء أهل الجنة رضي الله عنها والحسن والحسين سيدا شباب أهل الجنة رضي الله عنهما. قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم الله الله في أصحابي الله في أصحابي لا تتخذهم وردا بعدي فمن أحبهم فبحبي أحبهم ومن أبغضهم فببغضي أبغضهم. اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت وعافنا فيمن عافيت وتولنا فيما توليت وبارك لنا فيما أعطيت وقنا شر ما قضيت فإنك تقضي ولا يقضى عليك إنه لا يذل من واليت ولا يعز من عاديت تباركت ربنا وتعاليت. وصلى الله على النبي. إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. اذكروا الله يذكركم ولذكر الله تعالى أعلى وأولى وأعز وأجل وأعظم وأكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون. أقيموا الصلاة.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
سووا صفوفكم وإن تسوية الصفوف لإقامة الصلاة. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. لو أنزلنا هذا القرآن على جبل لرأيته خاشعا متصدعا من خشية الله وتلك الأمثال نضربها للناس لعلهم يتفكرون. هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو عالم الغيب والشهادة هو الرحمن الرحيم. هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار المتكبر سبحان الله عما يشركون. هو الله الخالق البارئ المصور له الأسماء الحسنى يسبح له ما في السماوات والأرض وهو العزيز الحكيم. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. إنا أنزلناه في ليلة القدر وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر. ليلة القدر خير من 1000 شهر تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر سلام هي حتى مطلع الفجر. الله سمع الله لمن حمده. الله Allahu Akbar. Allah. Allahu Akbar. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. اللهم أنت السلام ومنك السلام وبارك يا ذا الجلال والإكرام. اللهم إنا لا نشرك بشكرك وحسن عبادتك. اللهم إنا نجعلك في قبورهم ونعوذ بك من شرورهم. رب ارحم لنا كما ربيانا صغيرا. ربنا هب لنا من ازواجنا وذرياتنا قرة اعين واجعلنا للمتقين اماما. ربنا اتمم لنا نورنا واغفر لنا انك على كل شيء قدير. صلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه محمد وعلى اله وازواجه واصحابه اجمعين برحمتك يا رب.
Assalamu alaikum. We just heard Imam Ahmed Ali is from Brooklyn. Khutbah, thank you very much for coming today. Imam Ali Ahmed is very famous in the sense that he is since 2013 is Imam Ikram of Brooklyn. Also, he is our surgeon in the police of New York City Police Department. Also, he has helped during the COVID-19 epidemic time. He helped over 250 burials. He did help them out because there was shortage of graves, everything was shortage. He helped them out. Also, he was featured in many TV programs, local and also international. So please look for him. Thank you very much for coming today. Second thing is that we need some more funding donations from you guys because we are back short on our target. We don't have enough to run the project. Please donate generously funds. Please, we need to help extra. Whatever you think is today, just double it up for next few weeks. Jazakallah khair. Thank you very much. And also, please watch out. COVID-19 is still here. As you heard the news yesterday, President Trump was positive. So please follow social distancing. Also come to the masjid with a mask. If you feel sick, please do not come to the masjid. Thank you very much. Jazakallah khair.